Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we're taking a look at the ALOCS Camp Cookware and Stove Combo. Hey everybody, welcome back. So today I've got a really cool review for you guys. This is something I've wanted to look at for a long time. This is the ALOCS CWC33. This is a multi-cooker with a 2-liter pot and a windscreen and a base. It's kind of similar to your Trangia style type stoves. I have a Trangia 27 here, and we're going to compare the two in a little bit. But I want to show you what this comes with. Now I've already taken all the plastic off, but I'm going to open up the box for you and show you what it looks like. Now the first thing you're going to notice is this is a little bit bigger than the smaller Trangia cook kits. Okay, there you go. Let's get the box out of the way here, and we'll show you up against my little 27. So you see it is a little bit bigger, and it's going to be a little bit heavier, but it has a lot of nice features in it, and it can cook larger meals for 2 to 3 people, as opposed to this, which is kind of smaller. Maybe you could get 2 people out of it, but mostly this is a single man type deal. Now the cool part about this is it will use both the alcohol burner or the stove, you know, the little isobutane burner, and I'm going to show you what comes with it. So first of all, let's take off this thing here, and that's your little bend there. You're just going to twist it sideways, put it over and over like that. Okay, so the first thing you're getting is your lid, and this is all anodized aluminum. You have a little strainer there if you have to strain spaghetti or noodles or whatever. You're going to get your stove inside here and your 2-piece piezo igniter sort of thing here. I put it in a plastic bag here because I didn't want it scratching up. I have not used this yet. I just kind of have set it up for use for this video, but let's take that out of there. So this is just a sparker kind of thing. When you get this plug won't be in there. You'll have to put it in, and you just put it towards the thing and spark it, and it lights. This is your stove, okay? This is a little burner, and it fits nicely inside the bottom of it. It will also fit in there, so we're going to test all that out in a second. It'll fit in the Trangia, I mean. This is your 2-liter pot. A nice big pot. Let me get that out of the way. I'll show you that in a minute. And the reason I like this is because this can cook entire meals. You know, some of the stuff that I have, like the Legacy Foods and the My Patriot Supply stuff, requires it to be cooked in a larger pot. It's not just boil some water and dump it in a bag. You can do that in this. You can also make stews, soups, anything in this bigger container. You've got your windscreen. Okay, very nice lightweight aluminum windscreen, and your stove base. This, of course, will just snap right into there. You'll run it through here and out, and it will fit right in there. So let's do that first. I'm going to assemble it on camera here for you. There you go. And this cable will be a little bit twisted when you get it. You kind of have to work it out and get it untangled. It's going to be a little bit unruly. And it snaps right into place. So there you go. Okay. Now, before we get any further, I'm going to open up the Trangia kit and show you that your Trangia alcohol stoves will fit in here as well. So if you don't want to carry this in isobutane, you can do the stove. So let me get that set up for you. Alright, so here's your base. Here is the actual Trangia stove that came out of that other cook kit. Fits right in there. So it really leaves you up a bunch of options. Now today we are going to be using the isobutane burner, because that's what came with it, and I want to test it as it came. But you do have that option of doing that. And also, here's something that's cool. If you already have a Trangia cook set, that base will fit in there. So, boom, there you go. Not only do you have that, but now you have options for using this as well. So it's definitely kind of a neat little changeover, switchover kind of thing. And it'll work in both. So anyway, let's finish setting this up and try and cook some food on it. Alright, so we got it back the way it was. Now, one of the things I do like about this is this does have wood handles on everything. It definitely makes it, I did boil some water with this, and it definitely makes it easier to lift and pick stuff up and move it around. So we're going to put the windscreen on. The windscreen will have notches to correspond with the notches on here. You're simply going to line them up. And there you go. And you're good. Now, you also have in here a base. This is a little bit unlike the Trangia, where the Trangia just has things that flop out. This is a base that sits inside here so that you can use smaller pots. Now, you can use this big one, okay, or you can use maybe a pan that would fit in there and then indent it a little bit underneath the ridge of the windscreen. But for our purposes today, we are going to be using the 2-liter pot because I'm doing 4.5 cups of water to make some of the My Patriot Supply mac and cheese. So what we're going to do is I'm going to fill this up. We're going to hook this up with some isobutane. Fill it up with 4.5 cups of water. See how quick it burns that. Pretty much when I did my boil test the other day, it was 3 minutes and 40 seconds about for 2 cups of water. So it does boil rather quickly. I think that's what it was. Might have been 4 minutes, I'm not sure. But we'll test it out with the 4.5 cups today and see how that works. You do have this nice lid, so that is definitely a plus. You know, you got your little vents there like I showed you. So it can either be steam vents or you can use it for strainers. If I was going to use this for a strainer very, very often, I'd probably do a few more holes myself personally. But I think for just basic use every day, you know, kind of thing, if you do happen to make some pasta or something you need to strain it, that'll work just fine. So let me get some isobutane on this and get something underneath it so I don't burn my base here, and we'll try it out. All right, we're all connected, and turn it on. Turn it up a little bit. There you go. You can see that definitely puts out one heck of a nice flame. So let me get my 4.5 cups of water on. There's 4 cups here. And that's one of the nice things about having a 2-liter pot, is you can boil more than, you know, a small amount of water just for a single entree, or you can make more than just a small little meal. So I kind of like having that. And there's my half cup. All right. And I'm going to cover the lid, and I'm not going to time this, or maybe I will. Yeah, let's time it and see, just for giggles, and see how long it takes to do this. Ready, stopwatch, and we'll start it. Now I'm being generous kind of here because I had it on there for about 30 seconds or so. So we can add about 30 seconds. And that white background really doesn't show up well. There we go. Anyway, I'll bring you back when it's fully boiled, and we will pop in there some My Patriot Supply Ready Hour mac and cheese and see how that works out. This can also simmer at a very, very low level, which is really cool, especially for entrees like that. So, see you in a few minutes. So while I'm waiting for that to boil, I just want to let you guys know that we are having some amazing deals over on my My Patriot Supply website, which is preparewithiridium.com. We have some deals on the 4-week kit and the 3-month kit. You're going to be saving a good deal of money if you do it, so go check them out. That's preparewithiridium.com. We are about 2 minutes and 42 seconds into it, and we're just starting to get some bubbles on the bottom, so it won't be long now. I'm going to pause it at 5 minutes and 31. Here we go. We definitely got boiling water going on here. Now, I did take out the oxygen absorber, so with this, you're just going to put it in, whisk in the contents slowly. I have found that whisking this in while it's boiling is better. They suggest you whisk it in while you're waiting for it to boil, but for some reason, when I did that, it came out a lot clumpier. Let me make sure I got everything out of there. Yep. It came out a lot clumpier than it was supposed to. So when I whisk it in when it's boiling, and then bring it to a boil, and then simmer, it seems to work a lot better. So for my uses, I found the mac and cheese works good when you whisk it in when it's boiling, and you let it go. So we're going to let that boil for 2 to 5 minutes, and then we're going to turn it down and simmer for about 10 minutes, and then we're going to have some mac and cheese. So I'll bring you back when it's done boiling and it's simmering, and I'll tell you the rest about the stove. One of the things you want to do with this particular entree, even though this isn't a cooking class, is stir it frequently. I have it on a very, very low level. I'm going to pick this up and show you. This will simmer incredibly low. I don't know if you can see that. You can probably just see the tip of the thing coming off. So let me put this down and show it to you really quick. That will simmer really, really, really low. I can even get it lower than that. And there you go, get a nice, really low simmer. So I like the burner a whole lot. That's very, very cool. You can do that. So we're going to let that simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes with the lid on. Let everything hydrate in there, and I will bring you back. All right, so it's been going for about 15 minutes. The noodles are soft. I like to test them and make sure they are. So far, this thing is performing flawlessly. So what you do now is you kind of just let it sit and let the sauce thicken up. They say for about 10 to 20 minutes depending. It's getting there already, so we're just going to let it sit. But in the meantime, I'm going to tell you a little bit about this system here. Let me cover it back up and what I think of it. So far, I like it. It collapses into itself. The 2-liter pot's big enough to cook for 2 or 3 people, but yet still lightweight. Like I said, you got the vent holes there. When you get this set up, you're going to realize these handles are really nice. No more using clips and holders, and you can just pick that right up with your hands, no problem. I like the fact that it's got the little insert there to put it over the fire. That will help you out a whole lot if you're using a different pot other than this one. But I would stick this whole thing together because I like it. And you can use this like a pan, and you can cook chicken, beef, whatever, inside it. Or just use it to heat up water for your freeze-dried meals. Or in this case, especially you guys that use legacy foods, this is a perfect indoor stove. As long as you have an adequate ventilation, you can even use it with alcohol if you don't want to use the isobutane. Perfect for indoor use. And for stuff like that, you know, where you need a big pot, you need it to cook, and you need it to be ready to go, that's awesome. You got a one-pot meal right there. You get everything you need. You get your windshield stand holder, igniter, pot with lid. It's all set up, ready to go. All you really need is a small mess kit, and we're going to be using this Swedish camp mess kit here today for that purpose. But, I mean, you could eat it right out of the pot if you were all on your own, I guess. The stove clips right into the windshield, doesn't flop around like other standalone stoves do, which I found. And the whole set is fairly lightweight. It weighs about 12.7 ounces. That's a little bit over a pound. Now, when this is collapsed, all closed up, it's 9 inches by 5 inches. The pot alone is 7 1/4 inch by 4 3/4 inch. And this little manual igniter is kind of handy. It really is just a piezo igniter. It just makes a spark. But it is kind of handy to have if you're not going to lug around matches or use a ferro rod to strike it or whatever. You got that right there and it's ready to go. So I do like that. So all in all, I'm pretty pleased with it. It's also way cheaper than a lot of the Trangia setups. This is $56.99. So not bad. And you know, if this is your only method of cooking after an emergency, disaster, power outage, whatever, pretty darn good system. You know, all in all, you can get a good meal going on this. If you wanted to make yourself some vegetable soup, you wanted to make chicken stock, whatever, you could really do it with a pot that big, and it's enough for 1 or 2 or 3 people, I would say. See how we're doing here. We'll stir it again. Yep, it's thickening up now. Definitely getting thicker, so that's cool. So what I'm going to do is bring you back when it's all done. We'll wrap it up and tell you where you can pick one up, and we will see you in a few minutes. All right, so we let it go about 20 minutes. I'll take this off. There you go. And that looks really, really good. But their mac and cheese is awesome anyway. My Patriot Supply mac and cheese is really, really good and creamy. So what I do with this cook kit is I got my little seasonings. I got onion, pepper, and salt. And I take this thing, I'll put a little salt and pepper on it. One thing about the My Patriot Supply stuff is there's not a lot of salt taste to it. Of course it has some salt in it because it's preserved, but it doesn't taste really salty. So, let's try it out. Yeah, that is absolutely perfect. Okay, so I won't bore you with eating it, but I'm going to transfer this over to another pot, and I'll show you how to break this all down. All right, so everything's cleaned up. It's all done. I'm going to show you how to take it apart. Pull that off. This is all cool by now. This is your little insert. You're going to take off your windscreen, and I am going to wipe that off because there's a little bit of water that spilled over. There we go. Windscreen's off. Now with this, what I like to do is push in and pick up. Now make sure when you're doing this that it's cooled off. I guarantee you it's still a little hot down there. You're going to feed this back through like that. Put it to the side. And that's done. Now with this again, I got a little water on it from when it boiled over. You know, the water spilled over a little bit. So this is going to be upside down. This is going to go in it. You're going to put this piece in here like that. Okay. That fits right in there. Okay. And there's your lid. Now I try to line these up. And of course we'll put this inside, but I want to let it cool off with this as well. I want to let it cool off first. Try to line them up. You're going to take this, twist it once, put it over the bottom on this side, pull it over this way, and put it over the bottom here, and there you go. Your cook kit is all packed up and ready to go. Really, really simple. So, that is the ALOCS Camp Cookware and Stove Combo. I definitely like it. It's not sitting even in there, but I can straighten that out. I definitely like it. I think for times when you're camping with more than one person, it definitely has a place for emergency preparedness in the home. You know, if you're going to use the burner, again, make sure you have adequate ventilation. But if you're going to use an alcohol stove, adequate ventilation is okay, but they're a little bit safer for indoor use, although you have to be careful you don't try to refill the alcohol stove while it's burning or spill it. But other than that, it's an awesome little system, and way, way cheaper than a lot of the more expensive Trangia stoves. So with this, you get yourself a little alcohol burner for 11 bucks or whatever on Amazon, and you'll be all set. So this is in my Amazon store, and it does very, very efficiently sip the isobutane. So that feels just as heavy to me as when I first tried it. So definitely an efficient little stove, nice little system, and I like it all in all. So I'm definitely going to be doing more videos with it in the future. We'll be using it for doing stuff like that, especially the My Patriot Supply and the Legacy food things. You want a nice big 2-liter pot like that that will allow you to cook water and food and everything mixed in there. For heating up soups, if you're a big soup eater. For a kettle, you can even stick a kettle in there without using the pot, because you have that nice base. That would definitely work out very, very well. So I'm impressed with it. I got to say, I really, really like it. It seems to be efficient and affordable, and we will be using it more on the channel. There is a link down below where you can pick this up in my store. Like I said, they're $56.99, so they're $57 total. You got a nice sturdy base, hard anodized aluminum, scratch resistant and lightweight, and the handles really add a lot to that. You know, not only do they look nicer, but they make it so much easier to pick this up. So definitely a cool little kit. Anyway, check it out. The link's down below if you're interested in buying it. Or if I forgot to tell you anything or any of the specs on it, you can find out there. Don't forget to check out our store as well, our affiliate store, and our freeze-dried wholesalers. With that link, you will get 15% off anything on freeze-dried wholesalers. All you got to do is click that link, and boom, you're saving 15%. Don't forget to check out our My Patriot Supply link. They were nice enough to donate the food today that we used, the mac and cheese, and that is at preparewithiridium.com. We've got a lot of good deals going on there on some larger food storage. I'm having a lot of people starting to pick up food from there. I've noticed the traffic on the site has picked up, and so have the sales. So it's definitely time to get prepped up, because I'm seeing people starting to stock up again now. We're going into that mode again, and you don't want to be stuck like you were last March. And don't forget to check out our Thrive Life food site as well. Anyway, folks, I thank you for watching. Thanks for hanging with the video. Stay safe and stay prepared.